saw the video. And, you know, these ladies are simply referred to now as Danny's mom, you know, and Donnie's mom and Joe's
Jordan's mom and Joe's mom.
But they are the mothers of the super famous teenage group that's causing such a sensation for the last couple of years around the country.
Around the world now,
That's right, exactly. They're here to give us the inside scoop on being moms of these superstar boys. So let us show you the boys, and then we'll bring out the moms. Here's brothers Jordan and Jonathan Knight. And here's their mom, Marlene Putman. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Put it right there. Have a seat.
She's got a New Kids on the Block necklace.
Yes,
She
I
looks
do,
very
and the
pretty.
other moms have the same
All
necklace.
right. Here's Donnie Wahlberg. He's had a lot of press lately. And here's his mother, Alma Conroy. Alma.
Donnie looks just like her.
Hi, Alma.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh, nice to meet you. Thank
All
you.
right, Joe McIntyre.
Oh, does Shanny love him?
And incidentally, his mother is an actress. And here's Kay McIntyre. Kay, come on out.
He's not going to believe I'm on the same sofa with Joe's mother. Hello.
Shanny loves Joe, Mom.
Oh, please, it's awful.
Danny Wood, and here's his mother, Betty Wood. So there you go.
The mothers.
How you doing? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
See, one day this could be you. Cody becomes a superstar.
Oh, gosh. You wouldn't wish it on anybody, would you? Or would you?
We
Is it
would wish it
wonderful?
on some of it.
Some of it.
Are you enjoying it?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
sure.
am.
Now, they came on our show, when was it, Kathy? 3 years ago?
I think their
It was
first national television
show. I think it was their first national appearance on the
They've
show.
been with you a couple of times.
Yes, they have.
And when their
I spoke
toys
to
came
them
out,
last
their
night, and they
dolls.
said how wonderful it was. That they had a great time
Oh,
with you,
that's
so
good.
that I
Thank
should
you.
relax and enjoy
Oh,
it.
sure,
Oh,
absolutely.
good. Yeah, we're not Mike Wallace, you know. But I noticed a little bit of hesitation on your part when we all said, "Is it wonderful?" You've been going through probably the toughest situation right now because Donnie, for the first time, has been getting some negative press. You all have enjoyed terrific press for the first couple of years. Now, what's it like as a mother who's obviously extremely protective to begin with? And here they're attacking your son.
It's terrible because being his mother, I take everything that's said personally.
Yeah.
And it hurts their family.
Yeah.
But we know Johnny, and we know the other side of the story, so.
And the press doesn't seem to tell that, you think?
No, they don't.
I think
No,
one
they
thing
don't.
that's part of this is because we feel like if there's any sort of an attack on the New Kids, it's on all of them as a group. And so we want to be here in a supportive role, but also we want to let people know that about all the good things they do and all the good charity work and other things that somehow gets slid under the carpet when there's a bit of negativism.
Doesn't sell magazines.
When there
No,
is
it doesn't.
when there is an altercation like this or some kind of incident, do you still lecture him as a mother would?
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. I first always ask what happened. You know, tell me what happened. And a lot of times when things are going on, I'll know it right away because he will.
And does he listen to you like a good son?
Sometimes, sometimes.
So he's a typical boy.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Isn't it awfully hard to be typical these days when they can't even go out in public? They can't have any kind of a normal life.
They fight to keep their normalcy, though. They really want to be as normal as they can, and it's hard.
But you have 12-year-old girls camping out on your doorstep. You know, it's a little disconcerting.
When I left Boston yesterday, there must have been about 40 or 50
On your doorstep.
on my doorstep.
Asking you to get a
At the
picture of
gate.
me, no doubt.
Oh, for sure.
Don't I know what's going on?
Can we have it?
Oh, please. He's got about 6 tons of upstairs he can give you.
Kay, do you travel with your son
I
at
do
all?
nothing. I stay home. I'm older than God, and these glamorous ladies are all much younger than I am, but I have the youngest child.
Ah, do you really?
And he's the...
But I stay home because I have, we have a granddaughter now who's 1.5 years. I never knew being a grandmother could be so exciting. And I have 7 daughters and the boys, and I like to be around them.
You have 7
You have
daughters?
9
I had
children
7
total,
daughters
right?
first, and then I had my 21-year-old son, and then Joseph. But no, I just don't like traveling. I am shivering because I have to get on the shuttle. I am dying. I want you all to pray for me. My son's a millionaire, and am I going to die
Before he leaves you, Eddie?
Yeah. I haven't told the family where my diamonds are going. He's giving me all these presents, and I haven't made out a will yet.
Oh, now I understand you call up, though, and make sure that he goes to Mass on
Oh,
Sundays.
yeah, we went to Mass Sunday. God love him. This child is, I mean, he is a doll. He really is. And when we were in Mass Sunday, I know he doesn't get to church enough, and we've talked about it, but I know I can't, yell at Joseph about this. You really can't get to Mass, say, in Pittsburgh, if you perform the night before, because they're all going to be there. But he'll say to me, I have God my heart, Ma. And then I cry, and he cries, and oh, it's so moving. But I do. Well, I won't tell you what I did about the star, but he really likes the star. And he went to this party in New York, and I called him up, woke him up in the hotel. Joseph, this woman likes older men. She's going to see you and she's going to die because you're so gorgeous. Joseph, and he's sound asleep. Don't go near her. Don't make a date. Don't do anything. You hear me, Joseph? I'm your mother. Yeah, Ma. Huh? All right, Joseph, goodbye. I love you. Now, that's what I do. I know it doesn't make any difference, but I have to tell him I'm his mother, and I don't want him dating older women. He's 17 years old.
How old is this woman?
This woman is a big star, and he just thinks she's dynamite.
No kidding.
Yes. No, nothing was going to happen, but he was going to this big party, and I was nervous.
And she was going to be there.
Yeah.
So what happened at the party?
They danced.
They danced?
Yes, they danced.
No kidding.
And now they've taken a few pictures of it.
No,
Next thing you know, it's going to be
no.
in magazines.
Would we all know this? Would we all know this lady? Really?
Yeah.
Come on, Kay.
No, he's admirer. He loves Frank Sinatra, and he loves this.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to go out with Frank Sinatra.
No.
Yeah, but as I understand the story, this lady loves him.
No.
Oh, he doesn't. We're with the mothers of the new kids on the block right now. We were talking about the size of the McIntyre family. You said nine children. How many?
I have 6 children.
You have
2
6?
daughters and 4 sons.
And where does he fit in?
There's just 2.
They.
Jordan.
The last 2.
Oh, that's right, the 2, right.
The last 2 children.
Twins. Right.
Jonathan and then Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not twins.
No, they're not.
No.
What's the age distinction?
18 months in between them.
Alma?
I have 9.
You have
6
9
boys
children.
and 3 girls.
Wow. And Kay has 8?
I can't believe this.
9.
I have 6.
You have 6. What's going on up there in Boston?
Something in the air.
Something in the water, something in the apples.
An explosion of talent. That's what's going on.
Well, so there are 30 children between you.
Yes,
Who
absolutely.
Who came up with the name of the Posse 30?
The boys
I
did.
think Donnie and Danny, maybe,
Yeah.
or whatever, the
Well,
boys.
now,
come up with
you guys, are you ladies celebrities in your neighborhood? In the city?
Yeah, we're sort of
Yeah,
mini
kind of.
celebrities. We're recognized, and
It's difficult for us to go shopping as well.
Yeah.
What do the girls want to know from you?
If the boys have girlfriends, and this summer we were on tour quite a bit, and I met more daughters-in-law.
Oh, you should.
Prospective
Future daughters-in-law.
God told them
That
they're going
I
to marry.
absolutely did not know there were that many daughters-in-law out there.
What do you think is the best piece of advice you've ever given your son?
to be the best that he can be, to be true to himself.
Mm-hmm. Now, were they friends when they were growing up?
Schoolmates.
Yes,
Do you
they
remember
went
the
to
first
same
time
school.
they started singing? Were you around them when they...
Oh, yes.
Joseph
yeah,
wasn't.
sure.
We live in a different part of Boston, and he was 12.
Uh-huh.
So they had those 4 boys and needed a little boy, like a Michael Jackson.
Or Donny
so
Osmond.
they came
Yeah.
over to Jamaica Plain, and I thought, his father will never let him do this. But he did. And I used to think, I know they're giving him a hard time, but he never told me till I read that book. Then I went out looking for them. Because they did. He was the new kid on the block, and he was 12, and he was a stranger, and it was so tough for Joseph, but he
They
never
worked
told me.
hard to break him in, and it worked, and he became a real vital part of the group very quickly.
Sure.
But Danny and Donnie and Jonathan and Jordan went to school together as little fellows, so they knew each other prior to the formation of the group.
And it was formed by an impresario named Maurice Starr,
That's
right?
right.
Now, they've also had a lot of criticism for the fact that Maurice writes their music, and some people say that they lip sync on stage and they don't sing their own music. What do you say to that, moms?
They do not
lip sync.
No,
Absolutely.
I have been to one concert after another and heard notes that were not,
Perfect.
the right notes. I've heard my son Jordan forget the words to some of the songs. You can hear them talk back and forth to each other.
Yes.
We know that it's not lip syncing.
No,
I
and
mean,
Donnie's
anyone
put
in the show that goes to the
lines
show
in that
would
don't
know.
even go with the song.
Right, exactly.
I think it was Donnie who said,
Exactly.
wait a minute, Frank Sinatra didn't write his own songs either, or play
Exactly,
an
neither
instrument.
did
right?
Elvis.
And now they are beginning to write songs, and some of them play instruments. So they're branching out on their own and are on this little vacation that they're on, producing and writing as we speak.
Donnie's trying to produce his younger brother.
Okay.
and he's writing his music.
Well, when the masses love something, the critics want to knock it.
That's right.
Right?
Of course.
That's right.
Of course.
So, and you've got to live with all of it.
We've just learned about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't
You
know
know,
about all
They're
that.
relatively still young fellas, and they're making lots and lots of money.
Obscene amounts of money, right?
And let's hope, you know, that they're going to have some of that later on. As their mothers, what can you do to help them?
We have the best. Bob Wolf is famous.
Oh, he's
and
their,
he's a wonderful,
their
wonderful man, a down-to-earth, good man.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a great office, and you trust or you don't. And
we
trust
trust.
him.
We trust
And
him.
he's taken care of, because Joseph watches his money. For a 17-year-old junior in high school, he really, you know, watches it.
He bought you a mink coat.
Well, yeah, he did that when he was 15. It was really, really something. And like I tell people, I don't drive, so you have to see me on the buses and the streetcars with this mink coat down to my feet, you know.
And they really are very, very good to their siblings. You know, they
Yeah,
really
is there some
take
jealousy
care of
there?
none.
No.
Why would there be jealousy?
Everyone's
They
life is
really
better.
benefit by it.
The boys are very, very family-oriented, and they were prior to New Kids on the Block, and they continue to be. And I think that's part of their attraction. They've just taken us all along with them, and we're on this train ride, and we are enjoying it immensely.
But you must have a deep, abiding fear also. What would be your greatest fear about the whole thing?
My fear is for their safety, really. And when you brought up the negative press, when I was having my makeup put on this morning, I was listening to the two of you. And I've seen you on before, of course, you know, when you opened the show. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if the press treated our boys the way you rag on him? And we could have fun doing it. It would be so much
What's
fun.
so fun about that? Who said it was fun every morning getting my brains beat out?
Because it's done in love and there's an affection
right,
behind
and
it.
it's a back and a forth,
Yeah.
you know, it's
Right, like
would be
family.
fun.
So,
Exactly.
so what are you going to tell the guys, you know, after the show? You're going to tell them that
To learn how to rag on you.
it's enough of that.
You know, I just watched a video. We videoed when the boys were on the show, and
Yeah.
I just watched it the other day. And they said, you know, how they'd had so much fun, and we watched you two trying to dance.
You
They
know,
taught you how to do
my daughter interviewed them
Yes,
at the
the
toy
toy
fair.
factory. Yes, I
And
saw
I
that.
didn't like the way they were looking at her.
Well, that's a
She's
switch.
very attractive.
How old is she?
She's 17.
She was very attractive. I
And
remember.
Irish Catholic and adorable.
Keep those guys away from her. It's enough I got Gilman looking at her.
Oh, God.
Anyway, we wish you the very best. Now, this is our story. This
The
is
official.
That is really, seriously, that's, I don't tout all the stuff, but they wrote this themselves, and they really didn't want to. And I remember when I conceived Joseph, he was going to be Christopher. So he opens that up with, my name should have been Christopher. Of course, the father came into the hospital and said, I don't know any Christophers, his name is Joseph. And being one of those 19, you know, 50, 40-year-old women at the time, I let him do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be Chris now, wouldn't it be? No, Chris McIntyre. But that's a really nice book.
Yeah,
That's
but we should
really
send
from
this
their
to
heart.
Shani, shouldn't we?
Shani has had that since the day it
She's
came
gonna
out.
love it.
But she'd love to have it signed. I know you're sick of having to do that. But
Ladies,
We
thank
will
you
do it.
very,
Thank
very
you.
much. And good luck to all of you. The mothers of the new kids on the block.